Let's speak English. Англійська мова Шекспіра та нью-йоркських таксистів. Англійська стане у нагоді вам, бойські дівчиська.
So guys, I'm again happy to see you in my class. We continue talking about sport. So, the sport is not possible without being healthy. Today, we're going to talk about health and how to keep healthy. Before we start talking about health, injuries, illnesses, and some unpleasant things, we need to speak about the body parts. Take a look. Look at the picture and point to the parts of body. Let's revise our body parts. So, what's this? Head, face, ear, mouth, neck, stomach, knee, and foot. Then comes elbow, nose, and eyes. Take a look at him. Hand, head, arm, back, bottom or buttocks, and a leg. There are, of course, more other parts of the body, but these are the main. So, let's try once again. What's this? Right, the elbow. What about this? A head. What about this? A back, and one more. This one. A knee. Okay. So, the body parts are very useful when we speak about idioms. Do you remember the idioms from the previous lessons? Okay, take a look. Here we've got some new ones. Take a look at the first sentence. Mary has got a sweet tooth. What does it mean? Maybe it means that one of Mary's teeth has a cavity. Cavity means a hole. Or Mary has got a liking for cakes and sweets. Or the last variant, Mary is a really cute girl. So what would you choose? Remember that idioms, they are not direct meaning. So, that's right. This one. It means that Mary has got a liking for cakes and sweets. Personally, I haven't got a sweet tooth. I'd rather eat something sour or salty. Then, the second one. A new car would cost me an eye. How is it possible? Would cost me an eye. So, the first variant. I cannot afford a new car. They are too expensive. Or, I cannot drive new cars because of bad eyesight. Or, variant C, I think new cars are really beautiful. So, what do you think? You can't afford it, you can't drive, or are they beautiful? The correct answer is I can't afford a new car. I cannot do it. They're too expensive. Okay, the next one. Bob is pulling your leg. Why is Bob pulling your leg? The meaning is not direct. So, what does it mean? Bob wants you to believe in his lie. Bob wants to catch your attention. Or Bob is a chiropractor. So, what would you choose? I think that's Bob wants you to believe in his lie. Okay, let's go further. So, I think his remark was supposed to be tongue-in-cheek. 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 His remark was meant to hurt you. His remark mustn't be taken too seriously. Or his remark must remain a secret. What do you think? Tongue-in-cheek means that it is a joke. Maybe not a very good one, maybe sarcastic, but still a joke. So it means that his mark mustn't be taken too seriously. Once again, if you need, write down these idioms. So, to have a sweet tooth means to have a liking for cakes and candies. Then cost an eye means be very expensive. Then to pull a leg means to make somebody believe in your lie. And tongue-in-cheek means a joke, maybe a silly one. So now we come to the injuries and illnesses and diseases. Unfortunately, people can become unhealthy, and we need to know how to deal with this unpleasant situation. Take a look at the words. You will have to complete the text with the correct form. You have to change it maybe, of the words in the box. If you need a dictionary, you may use it. Okay, so here are the words. Cough. Then comes flu, pain, sore, temperature, and virus. We've got two situations with two kids, Karen and Pete. Remember, maybe you will need to change a form of the verb or of the noun. So, take a look at the story of Karen. Let's read. Karen isn't very well at the moment. She's got a very bad cold. Or perhaps it's a... So, out of these words, you need a noun. Find a noun and write. It's a flu. She all the time, and so now she has throat. In B, you need a verb because verbs are always on the second position in the sentence. So she, let's find a verb out of the words, and she coughs all the time, and so now she has, now you need an adjective. Find please the adjective. She has a sore throat. And once again, let's go back to B. She coughs. She coughs. We need ending S because it's present simple for she. Good. Once again, let's read the whole story. Karen isn't very well at the moment. She's got a very bad cold, or perhaps it's a flu. She coughs all the time, and so now she has a sore throat. Okay, let's take a look at the Pete's story. Pete has a very high, and you need a noun. So we've got several more nouns, and we need temperature. Pete has a very high temperature, 39.5 degrees, really high. He's got something. Again, you need a noun. He's got something in his arms and legs. And the word pain suits perfectly well. He's got pain in his arms and legs. And the last word, perhaps it's a virus, because a lot of people are ill at school at the moment. Once again, let's read the whole story. Pete has a very high temperature of 39.5 degrees. He's got pain in his arms and legs. Perhaps it's a virus, because a lot of people are ill at school at the moment. Okay, I have several questions. Do you catch colds easily? What do you do to stop them? It's a very unpleasant situation when you catch a cold, especially when the weather is so nice. So, what do I do to stop and not catch cold? Personally, I try to eat a healthy diet. I try to do exercises every day. And of course, I try to avoid being in public when there is kind of a problem with the viruses or flu, like seasonal flu. The second question, do you ever injure yourself doing sport or other activities? Which sports are the most dangerous? Sometimes sportsmen or athletes may have different traumas. Sometimes when we play or do sports, we may hurt ourselves. That's really unpleasant, but it may happen. To avoid this situation, you have to be ready to work out with a personal coach or in a team. And please be very attentive to your health. Okay, let's move on. So I want you to complete the sentences with the present perfect form of the verbs given. Remember, last time we spoke about this tense and we played Kahoot. So what is present perfect? It's have plus the third form of the verb. So the first one, I to study medicine. What would you choose and what would be your answer? I have decided to study medicine. The next sentence, my friend, Dr. Lucy Smith. My friend, it's he, so I know it should be has, and the third form is met. Met, so my friend has met Dr. Lucy Smith. The next one, we studied the history of sport. Study, studied, Y changes into I, and we, it's have. So, we have studied the history of sport. The next one, I not have any bad accidents. Oh, I need the negative form. So, I haven't had any bad accidents, or the full form, I have not had any bad accidents. The next one is a question. So if it's a question, have or has needs to go to the first position. So your dad, it's he. So what do we have here? Has your dad worked in a hospital? And the last sentence, my sister is she, so I need has. My sister has become a nurse. That's right. So we revised the present perfect. Now, I'd like you to write questions and ask your partner if you have somebody next to you, or you can ask these questions in the comments to our lesson. So, stay in bed because of flu. You have to start the sentences with have you ever. Let's try. A minute for you to think. If you need, you can write it down. Okay? So, have you ever caught a cold? Yes, I have. I'm a human. Okay, the next one. Have a very high temperature. Oh, unpleasant situation, definitely. So, how would you ask this question? Have you ever had a very high temperature? Of course I have. Okay, the next one. Take medicine that tastes really bad. I don't like taking medicine because very often it's awfully tastes. Okay, so how would you ask this question? Okay, let's check. Have you ever taken medicine that tastes really bad? Of course I have. And the last one, break your arm. So, have you ever, then the third form, broken your arm? Okay, let's check. Have you ever broken your arm? Luckily, I haven't broken any arms or legs. I'm happy with that. Okay, now take a look at this dialogue, and you will notice something very interesting. Take a look. So the interviewer, has he ever had a really serious accident? Yes, He has. Interviewer. What happened? Expert. It was in 1986. He fell several meters and hit his head on a rock. Well, there are two tenses mixed in one dialogue. Answer the questions you see below. The first question. Is the presenter's first question in the past simple or the present perfect? Let's take a look at the first question. Has he ever had? Well, what tense is it? Right, that's present perfect. The second question. Does the question ask about general experience or a specific moment in the past? General experience or specific moment? Well, the first question of the interviewer deals with general experience, not a specific moment in the past. Now let's take a look at the next question. Is the presenter's second question in the past simple or the present perfect? Let's take a look at the second question. So, what happened? That is, right, that's past simple. And the last question, does the question ask about general experience or a specific moment in the past? Well, it's about the specific moment in the past. And take a look. The answer starts with it was in 1986, the exact moment. Now, we have to find the difference between the using of past simple and present perfect. So, when do we use simple past? The first time when we use the simple past is to talk about actions that are not connected with the present. It means they happened somewhere in the past and that period of time ended. Take a look at the example. The Titanic sank in 1912. We have an exact date and it is in the past. Okay, the second usage. Actions in the past that are chronologically ordered. Chronologically ordered, like in a tale, like in a fairy tale, or like when you talk about your yesterday. For example, he came in, he sat on the sofa and started waiting. So all actions happened after each one. So the next one is repeated actions in the past. We also can use used to. Repeated actions, for example, I took English courses when I was 12. It means that 3 times a week or 4 times a week I went on special courses when I was 12. In other words, I may say I used to take English courses. If you went swimming when you were a kid, you can say I swam when I was a kid, or I used to go swimming when I was a kid. The next one. When after talking about general experience, we give details. For example, I've been to London this month. I stayed in a big hotel. I visited Trafalgar Square and I bought some souvenirs. My general experience is that I've been to London. But what is specific? Where I stayed, what I visited, and what I bought there. When you have these questions, where, when, why, and how, and if you talk about past events, you need to use past simple. Okay, so the second aspect of this topic. When do we use present perfect? Take a look. When we talk about general experience without giving specific information, we don't know when something happened, but we want to know if it really happened. Take a look at the examples. Tarantino had directed lots of blockbusters. That's a general information. He's still alive. He may direct the other ones, but Tarantino directed Kill Bill in 2003. We have the exact date, and that's the past event already. Okay? The next example. I've never seen the Eiffel Tower. Well, that's general experience. I'm still alive. Maybe one day I'll go to Paris and see it. But I didn't see the Eiffel Tower when I was in France. Here we have the exact time when I was in France. Maybe I visited the other cities and I didn't go to Paris. The next example. Jack has written a script. Here is the script. Here is Jack. Here is the result. He has written the script, but he wrote the script last week. Here we've got the exact time when he did it, last week. Okay, let's continue. The second usage. Actions that are finished in the past but are connected with the present. You can see result. Do you remember Jack with his script? Take a look at the example. I've taken 3 tests this semester. So this semester is not finished, it's still going on, but there is the result, 3 tests. Then, when we want to express an unfinished period of time, it started in the past, but it continues up to now. Take a look. Helen has been to London once in her life. Her life is not finished, it's still going on. Maybe one day she'll go to London once again. And my grandparents have seen Hamlet this week. This week is not ended, so they may go to the theater once again and see it once again. Maybe it will happen. This week is not finished, it's still going on. Okay, so to sum up everything we have just said, we need to know that if there is a past action that happened in the past and has a result for now, it is present perfect. When the action happened, you know the exact date, you know the exact time, it's past simple. When the period of time is not finished, for example, like this day or this week, it's present perfect. When you speak about your past events, about your yesterday or about your last week, you use past simple. I got up, I had breakfast, I went to school, and so on. Now, I think that you're ready to practice a bit. So, this time I won't show you the answers immediately. I want you to write them down and then we'll discuss them. So, take a look at the first question or statement. I see that film before. I see that film before. Is it general or is it specific? Okay. Have you written it down? Okay. Then, we 3 English books in class. 3 English books. It looks like a result. Okay. So, have you written your answer? You'll check yourself later. Okay. The next one. My mother to London twice this year. This year, twice. This year is not over. So, right. Okay, the next one. John borrowed 4 CDs from me. John borrow. Okay, general experience or not. Okay, the next one. The children breakfast. Okay, have you written down your answer? Okay, then you all the coffee. Okay, and be quiet. The film. Okay, and now you've got time to check your answer. So the first one, I have seen that film before. That is general experience. We have read 3 English books in class. So this is the result. My mother has been to London twice this year. Okay, this year is not finished. Then John has borrowed 4 CDs from me. Time's not mentioned. Then the children have eaten breakfast. Time is not mentioned, just the result. The children are not hungry. You have drunk all the coffee. Again, the result, no coffee. And be quiet. The film has started. We don't know the time. So, all these sentences are in what tense? Present perfect. That's right. Now, I want you to change them into past simple. Maybe you will need to add something. For example, I have seen that film before, but I didn't like it. It was boring. So I made 2 more sentences and I used past simple and talked about the specific situation. So in the comments to this lesson, would you please write your sentences but change them into the past simple? We'll start the next lesson checking your answers and talking about how to transform these sentences into the past simple. Thank you for the lesson, guys. You are awesome. See you next time.